Hello and welcome everybody. F1 is back on the channel. The start of the 2021 season is just tantalizingly close. It's only a few days away. In fact, actually, practice tomorrow is when it starts. So I didn't even say that right. But you know what? We're going to keep going. Welcome everyone to what is the first pre-season kind of talk. All right, as you guys know from last year, I did race previews and stuff like that. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to jump into every single one of the teams, and we're going to do it right now because I don't want this video to be too long. We're going to start off with these guys, Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton. Not a bad season last year, Hamilton and Mercedes. I mean, you know, 7th world title for Hamilton. They didn't have a great preseason testing though. What I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to give them a little bit of a ranking. Okay, so car launch, livery, and driver lineup. I'm going to give their driver lineup an 8 out of 10 because of Bottas and Hamilton. I'm going to give their livery like a 6 because there's way too AMG stickers, way too many. And car launch was a bit meh. So I don't know, maybe about a 7 for that. It's what you kind of expect. They're keeping in their black livery, which is kind of cool. I won't lie. But yeah, nothing really too much more to say about them. Their preseason testing was not good though. A little bit of a diva, it's been called, this W12 E performance. So hopefully Hamilton won't win another championship. Michael will still be the best driver historically, and we might actually have somebody else apart from Mercedes dominating races. We're going to move on next to not Red Bull. These guys, the Russian, Haas Formula 1 team. A little bit of controversy with these guys to start off with. First of all, their driver lineup. Mick Schumacher, love him, can't wait to see what he does this season. But Nikita Mazepin, and the less time I give this man, the better. That's Schumacher, by the way, not Mazepin. We like him, we don't like the other guy. Because he sexually harassed someone on his Instagram story, and then took down the apology he made a few days later. So we don't really talk about him too much. Haas, though, have their new sponsor, Uralkali. And if you guys don't know, Russia actually got, the Russian flag has been banned from all sports for the next, I don't know, I think it's like 4 years or 2 years. So Haas have got around this and have liked to please their sponsors by making a Russian liveried car, which is currently under investigation. Moving on. Actually, not moving on. I haven't given them a rating yet. Driver lineup, I'm going to go a 5 out of 10. 5 points for Schumi, minus 5 points for your man. And I suppose their preseason testing was a bit slow. They're not really going to be fast. I'm going to give it a 5. Their car launch was pretty disgusting as well, so I'm going to give it a 2. Well, not 2, that's a bit hard. Maybe a 6. How well do I think they're going to do this season? Not very well. They're going to be in their own little battle. All right, let's be completely honest here. So, without further ado, let's move on. AlphaTauri. Now, these guys are very interesting. I suppose we'll go right into the rating. The driver lineup this year is Pierre Gasly, race winner, and rookie Yuki Tsunoda, another Red Bull Academy driver program kind of graduate. This man is going to be somebody to watch. Honestly, watch the space. Because he is so nice, he's so down to earth, he's so humble. Only started his racing career at, I think it was 20 or something. Something like that anyway. Good driver lineup. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it's a very good driver lineup, especially for a team like AlphaTauri, really gonna make a difference. Their car launch was a bit stupid because it was basically just a clothing kind of advert. So I'm gonna give it only about maybe a 5. How well do I think they're going to do this season? I think they're going to be right in the middle of the midfield. Their livery, which you can see on screen now, is just swapped, completely swapped. You have where the blue was last year is where the white was, and then where the white was last year is now where the blue was. So they're just going to complete flip. I really like it. I think it's really cool, but it does, in the dark, look like an Aston Martin and other things. This is a Red Bull now. Driver lineup, 9 out of 10. Max Verstappen and Checo Perez. I mean, come on. One of the best driver lineups in the grid. Preseason testing was very strong, and actually for AlphaTauri as well. Good AlphaTauri had the joint most laps with Alfa Romeo. These guys were not too bad either, actually, themselves. Not too bad at all. Good luck driver lineup. Car looks really solid. I'm going to tip these guys to win the championship this year. They just, with Mercedes being a little off because of the rear suspension changes, I think it's kind of hurt them a little bit. These guys look to be on the ball. I think they if they want to win the championship, they have to win the first few races. That's all that matters. The new RB16 was the first car to spin, but I do think they will recover, and I do think they will win a lot of races this season, and they are going to challenge Mercedes, definitely. Moving on next then to Aston Martin, otherwise known as Racing Point, and we have a pretty good driver lineup, but kind of like Haas in a way. I don't really like to talk about it. Sebastian Vettel, moving from Ferrari after the toxic breakup, and Lance Stroll, who, let's just face it, his dad bought him into Formula 1. The team, the car looks okay. It doesn't look anything special, but it looks okay. It's going to be right in the middle of that midfield, like with the AlphaTauri, like with some of the other teams, which we'll talk about later. Personally, I like the colour scheme, but I would change it a little bit. Well, actually quite a lot. Firstly, the British Racing Green just doesn't kind of work, for me anyway, and the pink does not need to be there. I don't care if it's your title sponsor or if it's a pretty good big sponsor. Pink doesn't need to be there. Also, Aston Martin now supplying the new F1 safety cars, and I think they look so much more aggressive than the AMGs. I mean, look at that front grille. Oh, that is properly spicy. Look at that. So yeah, let's give it some ratings then. Car launch was a little bit silly. Vettel looked really uncomfortable. Lawrence Stroll looked like he was being held captive. So I'm going to go with maybe like a 6 out of 10. Driver lineup, 8 out of 10. Livery, 8 out of 10. There you go. Overall, I think they're going to have a good season this year. And now they finally have the resources to actually race. Next up then is Ferrari. And this man, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, I think the best driver lineup in the grid now. I mean, oh, yeah. One thing, though, that I don't really like is this. You know that meme? It's like, this sparks joy, and then this one does not spark joy. Last year's livery and this year's livery, well, that's exactly the same. The two-tone, like, burgundy, like the first ever thing, that doesn't need to be there. Okay? Use that for last year's car. It was the, like, 700 or whatever anniversary, 90th anniversary of Ferrari or whatever. Ferrari, actually, there you go, 1000th race. It doesn't need to be there, okay? It looks disgusting. It looks like they've just thrown oil all over the car. It just looks ridiculous. And that green abomination, thank God that they've been outlawed in about 15 countries, because I do not want to be a supporter of that thing. It's disgusting. Yes, I know it's a marketing ploy, okay? I know. Make it the most hideous thing possible. There's no such thing as bad PR, but that is an exact thing of bad PR, and I hate it. Hate it. Anyway, driver lineups. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Car launch was stupid. They had two of them. They had a driver launch and a team launch. I don't like it. 5 out of 10. Where do you think they're going to be this season? Right in the middle of the midfield. I think they'll get a few podiums. They have to get a few podiums after the horrific scenes from last year. Moving on then to this. This is Alfa Romeo. Now, they have that new Ferrari engine, which is a really, really good engine. Well, not really, really good. It's not like Mercedes good, but it's getting there, you know what? It's getting there. The livery, I think, looks really nice. There's a little bit of like debate over whether it looks nice or not. I think it actually really suits the car. I think it looks awesome. Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi both returning for this year. Raikkonen's last, maybe second last. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's going to be one of his last seasons in this sport anyway. He might sign a 1-year contract, but yeah, I think overall the car looks really good. Everything about the team just looks strong. So I suppose we'll go into ratings now. Driver lineup 7. That's a little bit old and a bit too young. Team launch was, well, Kimi was funny, so I'm going to give it a 9. Season launch, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 8. I think they're going to do well this season. They're going to be towards the back of the midfield. Anyway, now on to McLaren, who look very, very strong. As you can see here with the kind of spray Aerospray. Good driver lineup this year. Danny Rick and Lando Norris, the meme compilation. They just need a little time to gel. I think we're putting a lot of pressure on these two. Just let it flow naturally, guys. But yeah, honestly, I mean, this team looks really good this year. That new Mercedes power unit, they're going to be fighting. I would not be surprised if they're like close to Red Bull. I think it'll be a bit of a stretch to say that they're title contenders. They're not. They're going to be towards the front of that midfield. That car. It could even be in a kind of a race of its own. So drivers 9 out of 10, really good, solid. Livery is exactly the same. So yeah, maybe about an 8 out of 10. Preseason testing very strong. We'll go 8 out of 10. Next though, next is just glorious. So pretty. It's of course the Alpine. If you can come up to me and say that car does not look good, then your oxygen privileges should be removed, because that thing just looks so pretty. Okay, that might have been a little bit of a stretch of what I just said. Don't hold me to that. But you cannot deny that thing has completely reinvented itself. It looks amazing. My favourite, the driver I grew up with, for God's sake. I mean, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon. Two expert drivers. I cannot wait for Fernando to get back into Formula 1. I want him to get a podium. I want him to get a win. I want him to win the championship, but I don't really think he's going to. That car, though, does look very strong. Is it as strong as the McLaren? Maybe. It's probably on par with the Aston. Maybe a little bit faster than the Aston. It looks pretty planted, though. Livery 10 out of 10. 12 out of 10. Drivers 9 out of 10. Preseason testing 9 out of 10. I think that team is going places. Last, but almost least, because I kind of forgot about them. Williams. Yeah, Williams. Whoa. I like the white at the front. The stripes don't need to be there. It looks hideous. And to be completely honest with you, I know they're trying to do a whole retro thing with the yellow, but it doesn't work. Latifi and Russell recruited for their second season together before Russell becomes a Mercedes driver next year. Maybe, I don't know, a little bit of controversy to spark in the comment section. But yeah, I don't think Williams are... I mean, I think they'll score a point, but I do not think that they'll be regular top 10 finishers. The car, they're focusing on next year, same as Haas. Anyway, now we get to the calendar for this season. 23 record long season. Anyway, Bahrain... Then we have in Sakir, then Imola, Portimao, Barcelona, Monaco, Baku, Montreal, and we have France and Le Castellet. Austria, then we have Spielberg, Silverstone, Budapest, Belgium. Actually, this is a really good trifecta of Grand Prix, actually. Belgium, whereas in Netherlands and Italy, Spa, Zandvoort, Monza, that's just class. Sochi, Singapore, Suzuka, Austin, Mexico City, Sao Paulo, Melbourne, then Jeddah and the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Not really sure that's the best marketing kind of thing they've ever done, to be entirely honest there, Formula 1. And then we're going to finish off the season, as per usual, in Abu Dhabi at Yas Island. So March until December, 9-month-long calendar. That is it's pretty good, I think. It's pretty good. And we won't have that long to wait until the new season arrives. So that is everything then. That is everything. So what do we make of this? Who's my money on? What do I think? Who do I think is going to win? All the story about that. Well, let me tell you. Honestly, as much as I would really, really like Mercedes not to win the championship, I can't help but thinking they might do it. But I don't know. That Red Bull, it gives me hope. The fact that they timed, in the long run pace, the Mercedes is faster. It's not like they're not. I think for the first few races, Mercedes are going to struggle a little bit. Just they only had 2 of the 3 days testing. Remember, the car was stuck in the garage. They will bounce back quickly, though. Don't make any mistake about that. They will. Do I think that Red Bull can build up an early lead, or lead, sorry, and like kind of defend it from there, maybe. But it's a 23 race long calendar this year. Like, I don't know. I really just don't know. And that's the thing about this new championship and about everything that's gone on. You just don't know. Mercedes will come back hard. And this is to say that, you know, they won't have a good opening first races. They could have a blinder of a start to this championship. But I think they have a few issues to sort out. So I think for the first few races, it'll be Red Bull. It'll be a good battle, but I think as the championship goes on, it's going to be harder and harder for Max and for Checo to fend off these guys. I don't think they can do it. Really don't. But you know what? Despite that, I'm going to put my money on probably Max. Max to win the championship, but maybe a Mercedes to win constructors. I think that could be... Maybe that would be interesting. Yeah, I think the team that's going to probably jump up the order the most will probably be Ferrari, considering where they were last year. I think they just have to improve, and I think they have improved. That engine is stronger. It's not the strongest. It's not like 2019 level, but it is quick. And that's the main thing. Just a few tenths of a second will do it there. But all in all, this is shaping up to be a really interesting championship. The midfield is as tight as ever. And that really, really does excite me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who's going to win the championship this year? Is it Hamilton? Is it Bottas? Maybe Verstappen or Checo? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this kind of video, let me know. It took me about 3.5 hours to edit, so I really would appreciate it if you dropped a like and subscribed. But that's going to do it. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.